We find ourselves now in South America.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. Always love to be down here. 2 rounds left. I want to start with Colombia. 7 matches without a single goal scored. Yet they have
bizarre.
The easiest schedule remaining.
Right.
They face Bolivia, and then they face Venezuela. Last place Venezuela.
Last place Venezuela. And Bolivia, who mathematically are still in it, but realistically are actually out.
And are coming off a really bad international break.
Yeah.
Let's say they take care of business versus both these teams. They find a way to get a goal. They find a way to grind out that result simply off of being better teams.
Right.
Could happen. They do that. They get 6 points.
Yeah.
And I believe they are positioned with 22 points.
Which is crazy because it still might not be enough. They're still going to have to rely on a few other matches to go their way.
Yes, absolutely.
Even regardless, even if they do pull off both results.
Yeah. Chile, they have it really, really hard.
Yeah, they play Brazil first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to chalk off as an immediate loss.
Yeah.
There's just no way Chile are going to go to Brazil and get the result. But what's crazy is that Chile, even with that loss, will still have a chance if things go their way.
Right.
Again, we're going to say that a lot in this qualifiers, because if certain matches go their way, no matter what, certain teams will still be in it going into the last match day.
Yeah. Now the headliner going into this upcoming cycle, Uruguay versus Peru.
In Uruguay.
In Uruguay. And they both need this victory.
Yeah.
They both need it for security and for some level of comfort.
Absolutely.
So whoever loses out will be on the ropes immediately, and this is where the other games come into play.
Exactly. I think it's going to be almost impossible to predict, truly. This is one of those where this is why gambling exists. You know, you think a team can win it, you put a lot of money on it, and just the exact opposite happens. Or you get it right and you win. Yeah. This is so hard to tell what's going to happen. Uruguay, I'm going to say, have the slight advantage just being at home.
I think so.
We know how important home matches are in South America, qualifying in general. Obviously, new coach Diego Alonso's come in. They had a good cycle in this last international break. If they can build off of that with that momentum, knowing if they win this game against Peru, they'll be in a good spot. They'll be in a really good spot. So just knowing that might propel them to beat Peru.
Yeah, I think Uruguay is the favorite going in because of what I've seen from Peru, especially this last break, where I haven't seen Peru go away and take it to a team.
Yeah.
They've been able to get the results, and they've been very good at that. You look at the Colombia versus Peru matchup, that was huge.
Yeah, it was insane.
Huge at the time. They essentially sat back the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
But they were calculated about how they approached their counterattacks and ultimately being very clinical and getting a point out. But there was an element of they allowed Colombia to have possession.
A little lucky.
They relied on Colombia not being able to break their scoring deadlock.
Exactly.
And Colombia delivered in that sense. I don't know if Uruguay is the same type of team that you can approach that way. I don't know if Peru has the tools to go away and be more aggressive in that sense and leave yourself exposed at back. But Peru, once again, has always shown that they somehow find it in them to get a result when they
believe
need
in the
it.
impossible when it comes to Peru.
They're very big about that. I would put my money on Uruguay first.
I think so.
But not going to be surprised if Peru manages a tie or if they even get a stunning 1-0 win.
What's interesting is that regardless of what happens in that game, it still sets up Chile and Colombia for a chance to go through. Say Uruguay win this game, they're pretty much through. Peru will still have a chance as they play Paraguay in their last game, a team who's already eliminated. And mind you, in Peru, that'll be a final for Peru. They win that game, they're at least guaranteed that playoff spot, at the very least. So even if Peru lose that game against Uruguay, they're still in a good position to maintain that playoff spot. Now, if anything else happens other than a win, though, against Paraguay, it's completely open for either Colombia to take it, or if Chile win against Uruguay in Santiago, then they can overcome it too. Yeah. Which is insane. It's insane that literally there's 3-4 teams that could actually realistically take them. Yeah. And it's scary.
Yeah,
you got to win these games.
It's terrifying. But the pressure is so insurmountable right now, man. You can just feel it at these games. Yeah. I ultimately don't see Colombia and Chile qualifying. I don't. I think because of how Colombia has shown that they can play at the level that they can play at this whole cycle.
It's been bad. It's been so bad, dude. It's been so bad.
This isn't a World Cup team, in my opinion.
No.
They don't deserve it.
They really don't.
And I just don't see them, now that the stakes are even higher than they were at the beginning of this whole journey, I just don't see it. I don't see him pulling it out. Chile, on the other hand, also has been underwhelming. This is the prototypical end of a golden generation type of squad.
Yeah.
Where it's just...
Where they're still up there. They're still technically in a somewhat chance to actually qualify, which means they're good. But they're really not.
Yeah, no, it's very similar to like Costa Rica, for example.
I was just
like
about
the same
to say
type of vibe.
They're literally the same
they're
exact
good
vibe.
enough to be in the mix.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I just don't want to see them in a tournament because I think I know the limitations of this Chilean team. Yeah. Versus like a Peru or Uruguay team which to me seems to be capable of a little bit more.
Yeah. What's interesting though is that, given the chance, especially since it is viable, since this South American qualifying has been so volatile and inconsistent when it comes to teams getting results. If Peru beat Uruguay in Montevideo, which could happen, maybe they'd pull off another crazy 1-0 steal. Yeah. Chile will have it in their own destiny to go through. If it'll be a final.
Oh, true.
At that point, it'll be final. Even if Colombia win their games, Chile will still have that edge, even if they lose against Brazil. Because if Peru win, Peru's basically through. It'll leave it wide open for 5th place. And Chile will have that chance to take it against Uruguay, who will be fighting for it too. Yeah. And at that point, if you're Chilean, step 1 is not lose too badly against Brazil. Lose 1, maybe 2-0, keep your goal difference low. Pray Peru don't do well, and then face Uruguay in a final. Yeah. There's a small chance that somehow Chile still actually pull this off. Yeah. Which is crazy. And the only reason why I'm giving it to them is because their last game is in Santiago. Mm-hmm. If that last game was on the road, no chance, even if it was against Venezuela. Playing at home, knowing the stakes, if it's there to take, I think Uruguay will struggle on the road. Absolutely. Okay. So Uruguay got to win this game against Peru. Yeah. If they do that, they don't have to worry about Chile. But if something goes wrong for Uruguay, then that game against Chile is going to be insane.
And I think there's a viable chance that Chile could maybe tie Brazil. Maybe.
Especially Ecuador since Brazil don't really have to try anymore. Avoiding injury, too. Yeah. Maybe they don't want to go in for those last tackles, so Chile just gets more of the 50-50s.
Yeah,
there's definitely that element, absolutely.
And, Chile, if they come out hungry, they come out aggressive, there is that chance, but, yeah, it's shaping up to be a potential final between Uruguay and Chile. A lot of this just depends on the results that happen across the table and just seeing how everything plays out.
Just to give a holistic point of view here, I think Uruguay will qualify automatically and Peru will maintain that playoff position. Yeah. It's what I want to see too, because just like you said, Chile and Colombia are not World Cup teams. They're not. Even though Peru haven't dazzled or sparkled as much as they did in 2018, I still think they have more magic and more flair than Colombia and Chile. I'd rather see that in the World Cup than either Chile or Colombia. Yeah. So personally, I want that to happen. And realistically, I think it actually can and will happen.